Carl and Brendan here from Games, Brains and a Head-Banging Life. It's Bloodstock. It is Bloodstock right now. No, it's not. It's Bloodstock very, very, very soon as at the time of recording.
You missed it.
And of course, as well as doing talk throughs and all the other content we've been doing, we wanted to give you our 10 bands that we would like to see. Our 10 bands that we're most excited to see at the festival. God, I was getting muddled up my words there.
Definitely be seen.
Yes, these are the bands that we're most excited to see. We're going to go out of our way to see, and we think you should too. It's in no particular order, so don't think we're ranking here. It's not about who's the best or who's the worst. It's simply about these are bands we really, really want to see. Dan wanted to be here, but Dan couldn't. However, Dan has kindly provided me with his 10. So to begin with,
Dan has kindly provided you with his 10 metalcore bands.
Here's the thing. We're going to play a game. We're going to start by playing a game. I'm going to ask Brendan to see how many of Dan's 10, based off the lineup, he knows he can actually get, and we'll see what the end result is. So Dan has given me 10 bands that he's most excited to see. Brendan, can you name these 10?
All 10. All right, I'll give you a couple. Let's see if we can guess. Svalbard.
Correct.
While She Sleeps.
Correct.
Loathe.
Correct. He's already got the top 3.
I'm doing good here. I'm just going into the Bloodstock things. I'm doing this all by memory so far. Bear with me. Let's have a little look ski. Oh, should I go for that one? That's a risky one.
He did them in order, so you've got the top 3 sorted. 1, 2, and 3. Sleep.
Bleed from Within.
Number 4. He's correct.
Activist.
Yes, they're on this list as well. Number 10.
Okay. Let's go. I'm going to take a bit of a risk with this one here. I'm going to go for Venom Prison.
Yes, it's on this list.
Fucking hell, he's having it.
There's 4 left.
4 left. Can I do it? Borsal?
No.
I've blown it. Baylor?
No. One more go, and then I'll tell you.
Let me just have a little flick around, about here. Right, he's not going to care about anything on the Jägermeister stage, I wouldn't have thought. A couple of seconds, let it all sink in. Raised by Owls.
No, that's it. There you go. You're out. The 4 you missed. Oh, that was incredible the way you were knocking them off. Some of these you might actually go, oh, of course. Malevolence.
Yeah. Okay. Wargasm. Okay. I didn't think he'd care about that.
Oh, Wargasm.
Wargasm. I just assumed no one cared about Wargasm. Damn it, I was wrong.
Cradle of Filth and Evil Scarecrow.
Cool. There's some good shouts in there, man. Good shouts.
Dan, Brennan mugged you right off there by knocking out those so easily.
I mean, I know he likes them, but I wouldn't have picked Cradle as one of his top 10. Do you know what I mean? But I know he's a fan of them. Don't get me wrong, but I would never have got that one.
So now we move to our top 10. We're going to take turns, and here's the thing: this year, I think more than any other, you're going to see some serious doubling up. So, you know, if I say one or you say one, I've got at the end of your speaking, I'll just join in with whatever and vice versa. Do you want to start then?
Yeah, sure. Just before we do, in Dan's defense, I reckon that if he was then picking the 10 bands that I want to see, that he'd probably do all right as well.
True.
But, you know, on a fair chunk of them, do you know what I mean? We're probably just as predictable. So, okay, so I'll start off with one that I know we'll double up on straight away, which is Video Nasties.
Yeah.
So, you know, for me, I'm a newfound fan, a band I've only really become a fan of in 2021, to be honest with you, and in the last few months. But I really do think they're amazing. Love to blend the B-movie horror with the metal punk thrash energy, lots of heaviness. You know, I did, because I'm funny, I wrote down and lashings, and then I wrote in brackets or slashings of creativity. And this is probably the band I'll find myself in a pit for.
Yes, we do, of course, double up on this one. If I was ranking them, this might be number 1, or at least very, very close to it. It's Video Nasties. My intrigue, when this came my way, my intrigue came off the fact that they were called Video Nasties, and the cover of Dominion had that kind of nasty, video nasty look. And obviously on this channel for the last year and a half, we have been doing the Nasties, which is a concurrent series of reviews of every 72 video nasty films that we're now only just reaching the halfway point. So that stuff's going on for a lot longer. So that intrigued me because I was like, oh, is this a band that plays music in that kind of horror vibe? And that's not unique in itself. That's what drew me in. The music kept me around. And yeah, I fucking love Dominion. I loved Dominion. And is it, what's the fuck? The Shades? Draw the Shades. Draw the Shades, the latest single they have released, was brilliant as well. We did a reaction video to it. That was the first time I'd heard it. And that was fantastic too. This will be my live debut not live debut, as if I'm fucking playing with them. My debut seeing the band live. So I can't wait. Yeah, absolutely. We share this one.
And for any security at Bloodstock, Carl's just given away the fact that he's going to try and get on stage in Video Nasties for his live debut.
I hit you in a second.
So I'm going to go for Ward 16 next.
Yep.
I mean, they just really interest me a lot, man. I mean, the album Metamorphosis, I think is really, really, really good. The singles are really good. I like it a lot. I love the image. I love the antics. I love all the social media stuff. I love the fact that it's advertising inspiration. You know, I just felt like in the run up to them being announced that I was hearing enough about them and interested enough that I was kind of like, oh, you know, I need to see this band. And then seeing them announced, I was like, oh, great. You know, so yeah, I'm interested. I want to be there.
Yeah, I have them as well. Ditto to everything you've said. I mean, I'm a fan of Ward 16. Metamorphosis is a great album. The new track, Burn the Witch, is a great track. I'm excited to see what they're going to bring in on the stage. They are promising quite a show. And as one of the 5 bands on a Wednesday, I feel like they're in a really good position to really get a lot of attention and eyes on them, including our own. Simply put, I have no concern about clashes, so this is a must-see for me, and it's one that where if they were on like a normal day, on a Saturday or a Sunday, I'd be trying to find a way to make sure I saw them regardless. So yeah, I've got Ward 16 as well.
Cool. All right. Let's see how many of these we do. We'll go for all 10. So next up for me, I'm going to go for Svalbard.
Okay.
Who are on the Ronnie James Dio stage on a Friday. These are another band I had no interest prior to doing a few show and tells on the gbhbl YouTube channel in the run up to Bloodstock. They came up a couple of times. I was blown away each time. I thought they're really, really good. I still don't know a lot of their music. That's the truth. You know, I couldn't honestly sit here now and say I've gone out and got every bit of their back catalogue, but I've heard enough in the few songs that I've heard to know that I like this band and I am going to become, you know, a bigger fan. And I'm hoping that the live show, you know, is that kind of stepping stone that kind of pushes me on. Although I was going to say this for every single band that I've got that's on the main stage, although they've got Ghosts of Atlantis slot. But that's not actually true, and that's not about Svalbard. My plan is to say that for every Ronnie James Dio stage band that I've got in my list. So.
No, fair enough. We don't double up on this one. We don't. So I'm going to go to one that I'm pretty sure you haven't got as well, based off our Bloodstock talk through. I'm going to the Sunday on the New Blood stage, where This Is Endless are going to tear that place down. I think this might be the band to see almost on the New Blood stage, just because there's another band headlining, which might be quite important on the New Blood stage, even if they don't belong there, because they belong higher up. But This Is Endless. This is easily one where I'm anticipating chaos, proper chaos. Maybe the biggest pit you'll see of the weekend. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Cool. I don't have them on my list.
Cool.
So next up, I'm going to go for Earn, which I know there'll be another one we'll double up on.
Yeah.
Sophie stage on the Thursday. It's taken me a while. A lot of gentle easing by a fellow member of GBHBL who might have mentioned them once or twice.
Yeah.
You know, but it has clicked now, and I am fully on board. I love the debut, Serpents in Spirit. I think it's undoubtedly one of the best albums released this year to date. And yeah, like I said, you know, what a time to be converted to a week or so before I get to see him take to the stage, having just finally got on board the Earn train, which has worked out perfectly for me, really.
Of course, we double up. I mean, yes, if you follow our site regularly, be it the written content or the YouTube content or just the general chatter that sometimes goes on, I love this band. I fell in love with this band immediately. It was an easy one for me because it was sold to me, and it's often you see it kind of referenced at this point where it's like, oh, ex-members of Hang the Bastard. I loved Hang Bastard. So that was okay. Well, what are these ex-members up to? Check out Earn, and Serpent and Spirit just blew me away. It's one of those where right now it's like it's the best album of the year. And then I'm like, oh yeah, but what about Sea Sleeper earlier on and stuff like that? You know, the end of the year list is going to be a fucking mess when it comes to that top 10. But Earn just absolutely blew me away. Serpent and Spirit is a fantastic, it's one of the best albums of the year as of right now. So for that to come out so soon, and then for me, and the joke was, again, I should have seen Earn a couple of weeks ago. They were going to be playing the Black Heart in London, and that didn't happen, obviously. So now this is Bloodstock for me. So I'm pleased that so soon after finding them and getting into their debut album and loving it, that I get to see them at Bloodstock. So I'm stoked for that. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. And I guess like a lot of the things that are happening this year, you know, not all of them, but because in previous years there would have been, you know, like if you go back pre-cancellations, my top 10 is a very different top 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth of it. You know, all the bands are going to be, not all of them, but a lot of them are going to be massive bands. I'm going to have Cattle Decapitation, I'm going to have Dark Tranquility and all that sort of stuff. And because of that, you're often picking bands that I already know so much about. Whereas the next band for me, it's only really taken a song or two for me to be like, oh, this is enough on this lineup that I really want to see these guys. And it's Slave Steel on the New Blood stage on the Thursday. You know, again, we looked at the track Dream of Decadence and it blew me away. I absolutely loved it. I remember we talked about it after the reaction, and I was like, yeah, this is the shit. This is my stuff. This is my jam. I love it. You know, and I've been a fan since. I've listened back, I've listened to other stuff that they've got out. I think they're absolutely fantastic, and yeah, can't wait to see them.
We don't double up, so I'm going to pull Load out of my bin of bands. This is one of these.
Arse.
I didn't want to say that. Yeah, band sounded worse, but this is going to be one of those. I'm 99% sure this is going to be one of those were you there moments. Potential sets for Load. They're hot. They're up and coming and metal. From Liverpool, they're passionate, they're angry, they're intense. The music drips. It's raw emotional shit for me. Venomous heaviness, passion, believability. I listen to Load, I look at Load, and I buy into everything they're fucking doing. I hope this Bloodstock show, I'm expecting amazing things. I hope it lives up.
Cool. The next thing on my list is Onslaught.
Oh, yeah.
Which I've gone for. And, you know, I must admit the main reason I want to see them is just because I don't think I ever have. And I know them. I understand the huge impact they've had on thrash and metal in general. And I just feel like I should have. You know, this is like a band I really, really want to tick off. You know, I think the last album, that's still relevant. It's not like a historical thing. You know, Generation Antichrist is a great album.
Yeah.
You know, so it is partly nostalgic. Well, it's not nostalgic because I've never seen, you know, I don't think I've ever seen them, and I just really feel like I should have seen them. But it's also the fact that, you know, they're still relevant at the same time. So, yeah.
Cool. We don't double up. So let me see if you've got Conjurer. It was 2018 when like everybody went, oh, who's Conjurer? And this album, Maya. Oh, this is a bit of a fucking banger. I got to see them around that time at the Black Heart as well. And I remember that because it wasn't a busy gig either. And they were just so fucking good. And then slowly, like, they started to blow up from Maya. Like, suddenly, you know, the big magazines were taking notice and being like, oh, we've heard of this new band, Conjurer. Fuck you guys. You know, other people have heard
we
first.
tickle your balls.
Yeah. And it's all been go since then, you know. They've done some massive fucking tours. And now we're just waiting on this, but we're basically waiting for this new album. So I'm kind of hoping and expecting we're going to get new music at the festival, and this could be again like not the emerging, but the re-emerging of Conjurer. You know?
Yep. Yeah, I haven't got Conjurer on my list.
Cool.
So I'll go for the next one that we may potentially double up on, and that is Lunar School.
Yep.
On the Sophie stage on the Thursday. I pretty much at first I just wrote one word. I just wrote the word void.
Yep. That's why, isn't it? That's it.
That's enough. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's not like there was a problem with them beforehand or anything, but I just think void was that next level shit, man. That was you know, that was the we're big, we're going to be a fucking force to be reckoned with sort of stuff, man. I don't know anyone who's heard Void who doesn't say the same about it, you know. So yeah, I liked them pre-Void, I love Void, I adore them post-Void. It'd be my first time seeing them live, I think. Who knows? But yeah, I believe it is anyway. And yeah, what a stage to see them play it on. And
yeah, I can't remember if when we interviewed them at Bloodstock a couple of years back. I can't remember if we got to see them live there.
Yeah.
Might have been interviewing at the time.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I know that we were there when they were there, but just I can't remember. And if we did, I can't remember the show. You know, but like so much has happened since. It's unreal. I mean,
yeah,
the step up this band have taken, like between, you know, in the last, I don't know, 2.5 years, it's a fucking mammoth leap, man.
Yeah. I mean, I have it as well. I have them as well, and yeah, it's Void, as you said. It was a masterpiece. It completely blew me away, and I can't wait to experience that as a much bigger fan than I was originally. Okay, we double up. Let's go again.
Glory Hammer.
Okay.
On the Ronnie James Dio stage on the Sunday. Perfect festival band, catchy tunes, uplifting melodies, re-energize any flagging people in your ranks, including me probably being one of them by this point, I would imagine. Don't know loads of their music, know enough of their music that, and I also know that there's a real shortage of power metal at Bloodstock this year. Seems to be a line I say every time I go to Bloodstock, that there's a real shortage of power metal this year. Maybe I should just get used to the idea that that's just it. Here's your one band a day. Now fuck off, you weird power metalers. But you know, I can't wait for us.
Dragons, you freak.
Yeah, that's what they did. So we haven't got any power metal this year, so we brought some video games. Go away. But you know, I can't wait for us. Like the only problem with them being on the Ronnie stage is that they obviously took Ghost of Atlantis slot. But aside from that.
Oh, very good. Evile for me. Evile, like many bands, Evile released a banger of an album and weren't able to capitalize on that. But for some reason, I don't know. I felt it more with the likes of Evile than anything else. Maybe it's because it felt like such a return to form for them. So I'm really excited to sort of see this is going to be quite cathartic for them, for us as well, who want to hear these new songs played live. It's just going to be a great headbang of a thrash metal set. I'm really excited for them.
Yeah. Yep. So second last one on my list then, and is Devin Townsend on the main stage, obviously on the Friday headlining. I've never seen Devin live in any of his different forms. I was never a huge Devin fan at any point, but for no other reason other than that I just never really listened to him. That's all. It wasn't like I listened to loads of Devin stuff or Strapping Young Lad and I hated it.
Yep.
Just never really listened to it. And it was Empath that turned me, like massively fucking turned me. Like, you know, I mean, I adore that album. You know, I still listen to it regularly today. And you know, with that, went backwards, loved it. Not everything that he touches,
of course,
but a lot of what he touches, you know, because he is eclectic. And to think the first time I'm going to see him is headlining a festival, which I just think for me is going to be insane and emotional. And the only thing wrong with it is obviously he took Ghost of Atlantis slot, but aside from that, it's all good.
Yeah, we double up in this one. It's Devin to Ghost of Atlantis slot. Devin took Ghost of Atlantis slot. Yeah, we double up in this one. It's pretty much just echo a lot of what you said. I have seen them live, but only ever in festival support slots. We're talking 40 minutes here and there. That's not good enough. And my thing with Devin Townsend is I grew up hearing certain Strapping Young Lad songs, never really cared for it, certainly didn't see a genius there. I just saw heavy music. I would then eventually came across an album called Addicted. And I was like, wait, this is the same dude who did Strapping Young Lad. Addicted, I loved. You know, I loved it. But it was Epicloud. It was Epicloud in 2012. That album from beginning to end is near perfect, in my opinion. Has some of his greatest music on it. It's better than Empath because of the overall quality of it and stuff like that. But alongside that, I then started realizing how many different things he had going on and all these different ideas. I fell madly in love with a song that's like nearly 20 minutes long called A Mighty Masturbator that I wanted to play at my wedding because of just how insane it was. I loved shit like that. Obviously, Devin Townsend project went, and now it's just Devin Townsend, and we get Empath, and we get the beauty of that. Yeah, this is my first time seeing him headline. That's to me, it's almost like the first time I've seen him live. A 35-40 minute slot in the day at Sonosphere, I do not count. This is important. Yeah. And the last one, I know what it is because I've got them as well. But go on, Brendan.
In case anyone hasn't guessed so far, it's Ghosts of Atlantis, who are headlining the New Blood stage on the Sunday. Suffolk-based metal band, blew me away with their debut album 3.6.2.4 this year, and ever since hearing it, I've been dying to hear them play it live. I was really, really chuffed, like absolutely fucking over the moon when they got announced for Bloodstock. They weren't very. It's weird because so much of Bloodstock was announced so long ago. That when the original 2020 announcements were out, there was like loads of bands I was over the fucking moon about. Cat of Decapitation being one, you know, like there were so many bands. And then obviously as things changed, because they had to, there have been a lot of announcements in the last 3 or 4 months. And while all of them are necessary, not all of them are exciting. When Ghosts of Atlantis were announced, I was over the fucking moon. It was a brilliant one for me. So I'm partly excited to see what is actually quite a large sound, you know, a massive sort of soundscape translates to the New Blood stage. But either way, I'm going to be front and center in this. I'm going to be trying to do death metal growls and then do singing voices for the other singer, and it's going to sound terrible, and I don't care. It's going to be amazing.
We double up on this, but we double up more by proxy than anything else. This is one of those at times, I was about to say rare, but it's not that fucking rare. That would be rude. Where Brendan's opinions and thoughts have transferred over to me to make me more interested in a band. This is Ghosts of Atlantis. I have still not listened to the full album in full because I just don't have the time, and then you forget and you move on. But we've done reaction to songs, which is how Brendan introduced me to them. Your excitement and interest in them garners interest from me in that sense. So I'm like, well, okay, I want to experience this with you. I want to see what it's like. I want to enjoy it the way you're enjoying it. That's where this interest comes from me more than anything else. That's great. It's what I really
no pressure.
Well, it's not
no pressure. No pressure, Ghosts of Atlantis, if you're listening.
What's really interesting as well is like they were one of our pre-features, and there's the thing: these are seasoned veterans who are instantly accessible because of Ghosts of Atlantis, and that's something that can't be overlooked either as well. It's like, okay, you guys get it. Like, you might be seasoned veterans, but you get it. You get what the score is. You get what you need to do, and that to me is instantly thrilling. Because it's like, wow, you've got some work ethic. You know, regardless of how many years you've done and what bands you've played in, you know you're effectively starting again, and you're gained for that. Ooh, okay, all right, that's
which is awesome. But also, like, it gives me that air of confidence that, like, and I don't get me wrong. I mean, most of the bands I would expect the same from. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, we watch the New Blood, we watch Metal to the Masses, we go to Metal to the Masses show, and I'm not expecting Ghosts of Atlantis with all of the experience within that band to walk out and be like, oh shit, I forgot to tune my guitar, or do you know what I mean? Like, these guys have played countless shows. yeah. Hi, Mum. Do you know what I mean? All their aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews hanging over the barrier and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? I'm expecting, and that's the only reason. That's why I do mean it as a joke, but that's why I always go like, it's almost weird that they're on the New Blood stage, because there is a new band, but they're not New Blood. These are experienced, seasoned performers. It's performed alongside the likes of Danny Filth and Devilment and everything like that. You know, these guys know their shit, and I'm expecting them to be something that the New Blood stage has never seen before, which is a band that just come out and be. It's like putting Judas Priest in the New Blood, like on the Jägermeister stage. Do you know what I mean?
That would be killer.
That would be killer, actually. Yeah, there's no idea.
There's our 10. There's our 10. There was a couple more that could have sneaked in. There were a couple that ended up pulling off at the last minute just to make up the 10. I think it's very important. We said this in the other video, and I think it's worth repeating here. This is a lineup where it's, like I said, the interest is more I've never seen or I'm intrigued by this, rather than lots and lots of bands we're super excited for. I do think it's worth noting as well for you, and we haven't said this yet in any of the videos, and we'll say it here. you suffered the most losses in regards to lineup changes here. You mentioned a couple already, but you've steadily watched list of bands you wanted to see get removed more than anyone else, I think.
I would imagine, aside from Devin Townsend and Ghost of Atlantis, assuming they had still been announced if everything had gone normally, which they may not have, because I doubt they would have entered a Metal to the Masses. That's the truth of it. I think they're too big for that.
True.
So aside from Devin, then, as much as I still would have wanted to see all the other band on my list, none of them would have been in my top 10 because there were already way more than 10 that I was fucking excited about. But I'm not bitching and moaning about it. The truth of it is that there are people that, I've seen comments like whether or not the lineup has changed so significantly that you should, I don't know, bid you a refund or whatever, And there is a bit of me that I don't think you should bid you a refund, don't get me wrong, because I think Bloodstock are doing their fucking utmost here. This is in no way a dig whatsoever. But I kind of understand that actually, if it wasn't for the fact that there are still enough bands and enough metal and everything that I'm fine with it no matter what, because I don't only go for the big bands. This is no one's fault, but this is, I think, an overall weak lineup that would not be worth the price of the ticket that we pay if this was a normal year under normal circumstances, remembering that we pay for VIP and everything like that.
Of course.
While I'm over the moon about seeing all of these guys, I didn't buy my ticket because I was going to have the opportunity to see Onslaught or Ward 16 or anything. And that's not meant to be a diss. I bought my ticket when, I probably would have bought it anyway, don't get me wrong, but I bought it when I saw Cattle Decapitation, and a name I keep bringing up, Violence, Dark Tranquility. Do you know what I mean? And who was our Saturday night headliner originally before Creator replaced them?
Oh, who was the Saturday night headliner? Oh, it was Merciful Fate.
Oh, I didn't care about that one. Ignore that one. I'm happier with that. Was a good move for me. But look, I'm not bitching and moaning about it because I would have still gone no matter what, and I'm still going to have a great time. And there are still a load of great bands. And I'm seeing this, like I hope a lot of people do. I know you do. I know most of the people that we go with. There's a kind of blip year where I am going to treat this to go out there and fucking garner as much new bands that I hadn't heard of or listened to before, that I can come home with all their t-shirts and just have another 50 bands worth of stuff on my music player, and I'm looking forward to that and I'm excited about it. I think you're the same, but there is no band in my top 10 that I've ever seen before, and I purposely did that. There are bands that I am excited to see at the festival, Cradle of Filth, While She Sleeps, this, that and the other, but they're all bands I've seen before, and I wanted to try and keep my top 10 to bands I hadn't seen, because I just feel like that's what this festival is for me now. In a good way, this is a festival for me to go and broaden my horizons.
It is pretty much the same, other than like Evile as support many years ago, Devon at some random Sonosphere. Yeah, this is all like this is I didn't plan it that way, but predominantly it's completely all sort of brand new sort of stuff. And a lot of the bands we highlighted when we did the full talk through, where either we didn't know much about them and all that, or we were like things like Mountain Tamer and people like that, and Haxon and all that. These are like bands that we know but we've never seen. This is where the interest comes from me. I'm looking forward to what to me is surely going to be a more relaxed environment, where I'm not like, oh my God, all these clashes are the worst because I really wanted to see this band and I really wanted to see that band. It's more, oh, okay, I've got a choice. Who do I fancy seeing?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But at the same time, because of the way that we are, while we've put down 10 bands that we want to see, and in our heads we'll probably have 4 or 5 more that could have maybe just got chopped from the end of the list right at the last minute. We are still the sort of people that will be, when we say we're going to take some time to chill out, that's usually at a stage.
Yes,
it's not at the tent, it's not in the middle of the field or eating an ice cream. Chill out means let's grab a beer and go and watch the band that we've never heard of from here, and I just think that we will always do that, and I hope everyone does that, which is just hit up the new Blood stage, hit up the Jägermeister stage, hit up every stage you possibly can. First year back at Bloodstock, first year of live music, first festival, and just fucking really give these bands as much noise and volume of support as we possibly can, and buy their fucking merch. These guys haven't been paid for a year and a half, man. Buy their merch.
And I think that there, like Brennan often does, is the statement to end this video. Let us know some of your bands you're most anticipated to see in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?